The sound test room.
Hello and welcome to the sound test room. My name is Jakob, you're watching the attaQ show, and today I am going to show you a project where I'm layering vocals. It's actually the intro you saw at the beginning. Multiple layers upon layers of iVoxel processed vocals. This is Cubase, and the bit you heard in the intro is this bit right here. So I'm gonna remind you of what that sounded like. The basis for the bass is this multi-layered vocals right here, and as you can see, you can only see like one cut up audio file, and let's have a listen to that only. That audio is actually me just performing a rhythmic vocal line here, and the original actually it just sounds like this. And it doesn't sound that interesting. So how do I turn that into what we heard up here? You need iVoxel, and you also need equalizers and compressors. What I did was I actually just set up a tempo, 124 BPMs, and then I recorded this audio file using my iRig Mic HD. After I recorded that file, I sent that to AudioShare. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna close off Cubase's AudioShare and everything, and I'm gonna open up only AudioShare. So I sent the audio from Cubase into AudioShare. So this is the original vocals that I recorded cleanly with my iRig Mic HD. I'm actually gonna make some iVoxel processing on that file, and I want 3 files. I want one for the low frequencies, one for the mid frequencies, and one for the high frequencies. I always do that, at least 3 sounds layered, and I actually have the results right here, but I'm gonna show you how I go about just making them. Press the microphone button. Whoops. First we're gonna choose the original one again, and I'm gonna press loop. And then I press the microphone button, and I actually go to this plus sign here, and I choose the file player. And the file player is the thing in the back with my original vocals. Now I need iVoxel. So in the effect slot, I'm going to put iVoxel as an effect. And now I have iVoxel loaded. Pressing it starts it up. Let's go back to AudioShare. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna start playing this loop, and then I'm gonna make changes inside iVoxel so that you can hear it. And as you can see, it's playing in the background, but you can't hear anything. That's because you need to input notes inside iVoxel. So let's press record on that, go to iVoxel, and actually put in a note. Now when I'm done recording, I'll have a recorded audio with some processed vocals in it. Now I actually was tweaking to show you, but normally I usually know what kind of patch I want to use for my audio. So I usually have something saved, or I've sat down and tweaked it before I start recording anything. So now we only have one big blur of stuff. But if we go to one of my pre-recorded one, this is the iVoxel layer low. Then you can see right here. Let's play that. You can see that I don't have more than what I need. I actually just pressed play when I knew what kind of settings I wanted in iVoxel, and then recorded that. And then I keep doing this for the low part, the mid part, and the high part. The next thing I do, I use equalizers to shape and sculpt the sound. To give them enough space for everyone to exist and coexist, you need to equalize this a bit. So let's have a listen at the finished iVoxel processed sound. This is the low bit. And this is the mid bit. And this is the high bit. What I do to actually shape the sound, to make them play well together, let's go into the mixer and you can actually see, oh, you're in the way there, fella. Either way, this is the first low vocals, this is the mid one, and this is the high one. Let's have a look at the low one. Now, I've turned off the studio equalizer because what I've actually done, every time I tweak something, I export that so I get a bounced file with all the settings in there, because I don't want them to change during time, and I also want to free up some resources and stuff. And I don't have to do that quite as much on my iPad mini 2, but I used to do that on my iPad mini 1 because it was actually low on resources. So I'm just gonna open it up and show you what I did to make it sound like it does now. As you can see, I've done some quite extensive tweaking. Since I want this to be the bass part, I just enhance and cut off the stuff I don't want there, because I want the other guys to take that space. I don't need any high frequencies for the bass, for the low bass part. I only need the yummy parts of the bass, around 50 Hz. I want it to rumble. Then if we go to the mid part, you can see that I've compensated. Let's check the equalizer here, and I've only saved the mid part. I've just completely gotten rid of the high bit and the low bits, because the bass is actually going to take that space over. And let's have a look at the high one also. And as you can see, I've kind of closed off the bass and some parts up to the mid, and then there was a frequency inside the mid that I didn't like. So what I do is I make the Q shape, it's that shape, quite sharp, and then I raise it, and then I move my finger around until I hear that sharp note that bothers me, and then I cut it by moving this one down. So I cut that frequency, and then I have a more balanced sound. All you need to do after that is mix it quite a bit until they fit well together, and then I bounce that. So I actually export that and I end up with this file. After that, I cut it up to this pattern, and that's how I did to get that bass sound. Now the other sounds here actually comes from Figure. Now for the video, for the animated head, I used iPhone face to animate the mouth of Ami. So I exported an entire video bit with Ami just animating the mouth to the vocal track. And then I used film flares to put the flares over there. So I actually had to export the same video 5 times over with different flare effects so that I could cut them together inside Pinnacle Studio. So that's how you layer some really cool iVoxel sounds to create a cool bass pattern. Now you should go try it out yourselves. As usual, Doug Woods, Colin Sweeney and me, Jakob at thesoundtestroom.com, wishes you a very productive week.